IGN just posted an article of their top 20 stories of the year. Let's break that down.
When you're up and down and you're over and out, come listen to your friend Stephen Brown. This is the show with Stephen.
All right, before we get this video started, I just want to show off this nice tripod that my girlfriend got me for Christmas. If you watch my vlogs, you saw me on Christmas with this, so now I can do these nice shots. She also got me this fancy microphone, which is going to up our game a little bit here at the Breaking It Down with Brown show. And check this out. All right, I don't know. Oh no, I'm shaking. I don't know how well that's coming up on camera, but it's got a super long cord. I can be standing pretty far away from the phone. Yes, I record on a phone, and it also the tripod came with this clicker, so it's easier for me. The way I use editing software and cut stuff is I do it by clips. I record things in clips, and it's easier for me to know where each cut is, so I can go like this. All right, and one more thing before we jump in the video. I'm sorry if you're new here. I'm Stevie B. I am the host of Breaking It Down with Brown. We also are going to be doing anime content this year, so stick out for that. We also have a bunch of Vlogmas videos for vlogging if you want to see, get to know me more, see my daily life stuff. And I also want to talk about why I'm wearing this hat really quick. And yes, you saw my last video if you saw the thumbnail. My girlfriend ruined my hair. She cut it, she dyed it. I need to go somewhere and get it professionally cut because right now I look like this. But I'm going to keep my hair out like, forget it. We're just going to keep the hair out like this. We're just going to do it like this. So let's take a look at this. The biggest news stories in 2022 by Jordan Serrani on IGN.com, posted today, December 30th, 2022 at 8 a.m. Let's skip the preamble. I did go through this a little bit myself and took a peek at it just to see. I was looking for news stories. Is there something I want to make a video about today? And some of these are worth talking on, some we're going to skip. Let's take a look at number 20. PS5 has seemingly been jailbroken and people are already installing PT on it. In early October, nearly 2 years after the release of the PS5, a modder was able to jailbreak Sony's new gen console, providing access to the console's debug menu and the ability to install unauthorized software. This quickly led to people installing PT. That's cool. That's all right. I'm cool with that. I never got to play PT. If I ever get a modded PS5, maybe I'll play it. Number 19 is inside the growing discontent behind Nintendo's fun facade, and I was excited to talk shit about this one, guys. In May, IGN published an in-depth report on the growing frustration within Nintendo of America. The report, written by IGN's Kat Bailey, detailed the discrepancies between the treatment of full-time Nintendo of America employees and contracted workers and the overall struggles within the company since 2015, when Nintendo was struggling with the Wii U and mourning the loss of its former CEO, Satoru Iwata. Former Nintendo employees and contractors described a work environment that became increasingly micromanaged. Sources described having to maintain exhaustive timesheets that accounted for virtually every minute of their day, leading to increased paranoia about taking breaks or letting their Microsoft Teams status shift to idle. Social media posts were also closely monitored, which begat paranoia among employees that their online engagement could result in being reprimanded or fired. You couldn't even really go to the bathroom without someone noticing you were away from your desk, one source recounted. Contractors especially bore these burdens. These individuals were handed similar responsibilities to full-time employees, yet they were restricted from accessing most of Nintendo of America's main campus, unable to attend the company's holiday parties or join in its diversity groups. The overall result is a culture that enables an air of superiority among full-time employees and a feeling of being second-class citizens among contractors. Now, why would you expect Nintendo to care about you as an employee? Nintendo is one of the scummiest companies on the planet. I don't care if you're a Nintendo fanboy. I don't care what you think. They're egregious. I mean, $80 Joy-Cons that are predisposed to breaking and having drift. And come on, dude, they can figure out how to fix that. There's no reason for them to be like that. It's just so that you have to buy another one. It's just so a kid breaks it and has to, beg his mom to go get him another one. Of course, the mom's going to go get it to shut the kid up. Not only that, their games don't drop anywhere below $59.99. They keep all their games at full price, which is ridiculous. Number 18, we don't even have to talk about. Johnny Depp will never return to Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't think anyone really cares about that franchise. It's been dead. The first 3, I think it was, were pretty good. All right, number 17, The Sims 4 is adding custom pronouns at last. I know this is going to get me in trouble, this one, but this is the one I was reading that was like, okay, here's enough content here to make a video about this. It's interesting enough to me. But Sims 4 added custom pronouns to its Create a Sim feature earlier this year. The new system expands the previous binary options from he, him, she, her to include they, them options. And this at the bottom, this kind of virtual affirmation, especially from a large mainstream video game like The Sims, can go a long way in reminding LGBTQIA+ players that they are seen, valued, and understood, said Stephanie DiBiase. I don't understand why everyone has to feel seen, valued, and understood. There's no small dick option in The Sims. I don't feel seen. All right, this one I glossed over on my first read through. Let's see, 16. There's further to go. Tom Hiddleston says Loki's bisexuality is a small step. The third episode of Disney's Loki confirmed the character's bisexuality by making him the first canonically LGBTQ character in MCU history. Okay, whatever. I'm sure that's not true. They always say everything like this. There's always like, oh, it's the first this, the first that. I'm sure if you paid attention and go back and watch the movies, there's got to be a gay guy somewhere. Come on. Following the reveal, Loki actor Tom Hiddleston said it was a small step for representation, adding there's further to go. Director Kate Herron echoed Hiddleston's sentiment. It is a part of who he is and who I am too. I know this is all a small step, but I'm happy. My heart is so full to say that this is now canon in the MCU. He's a goddamn Norse god. Everybody was fucking everybody back then. There was no rules, okay? It's not that big a deal. If we normalize these things and stop, kissing our own asses for doing these things, people, might care more. But I don't think anyone should care because, like I was saying, it should be normalized. So if you putting weight on these things, it makes it less special and it annoys people. It annoys them. The world's second biggest theater chain is filing for bankruptcy. Which one is that? Regal Cinemas. Now, the movie theater business is dying. I love going to the theater, but I can't afford it. It's too expensive now. It's like $30 for two people, if more, if that. I think now it's like $15 a ticket maybe. If it's a new movie, they sometimes make that shit like $20. Like if it's like the first week it's coming out, or whatever, like something big like Marvel, they jack the prices up, and that's if you don't get coffee or. Not coffee, sorry. I'm drinking coffee, so that's if you don't get a soda or popcorn or something like that. It's stupid, man. And also, I have been continuing to have bad theater experiences. If I try to go to the theater, there's going to be like some shitty teenager or something, trying to ruin my time there, basically. Talking through it, taking selfies with flash on it. Why do you need to take a selfie with the flash on, bro? You're in a movie theater. Scientist uses facial reconstruction tech on Skyrim skeleton. Real-world facial reconstruction technology was used to render a lifelike image of a skeleton from Skyrim. Ancestral Whispers, a facial reconstruction organization, posted its results on the Twitter of the reconstruction Atmaran, a fictional race of ancient men from the world of Elder Scrolls. That's cool. Number 13, Chris Hemsworth is taking a break from acting following Alzheimer's revelation. Chris Hemsworth, best known for his role as Thor in the MCU, announced he was taking a break from acting after discovering he possessed a genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's disease. That doesn't mean he has it, right? It's not a predeterministic gene, but it is a strong indication, Hemsworth said of the discovery. Really triggered something in me to want to take some time off, and since we finished filming Limitless, I've been completing the things I was already contracted to do. Now I finished this tour this week, blah, blah, blah. Not a big deal. He did say he would return, or Thor would return in some fashion at the end of Thor Love and Thunder. So we'll have some kind of Thor. I heard talks about Natalie Portman coming back again as Jane Foster, so they might be doing some Dragon Ball shit and wishing her back to life. I completely missed this one when I was going through this the first time. Number 12, Winnie Pooh, Blood and Honey is a nightmare reimagining of the beloved bear. I remember seeing the trailers and stuff for that. I thought it looked kind of funny. My girlfriend said she had no interest, but I will watch it eventually. Now, you remember me freaking out about this in the old episodes if you were watching the show. Number 11, Deadpool 3 is coming in 2024. Hugh Jackman returns as Wolverine. Let's go, baby. It's going to be a great film. They're just going to play off each other really well, those actors, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. And there's talks of, man, I already forgot, I'm sorry, but I had read a spoiler from a good source that the storyline would be Ryan Reynolds, taking Cable's time machine to body slide, that's what it's called, body sliding, to body slide in time to before Logan's death at the end of Logan and save him from dying or whatever, and like bring him back to the MCU for, I forgot the purpose of, but it's a good thing I forget because then I can be surprised, whatever it was he was going to bring him back for. Right, this one I glossed over, but it looked a little interesting. Let's see what it is. Number 10, we spoke to Let Me Solo Her, the Elden Ring community hero we need and deserve. It's your 345th attempt to kill Millennia. Tired of the grind, you decide to call in reinforcements. You lay down a summoning sign outside the arena and wait. Moments later, the call is answered. A man appears before you wearing only the skimpiest of underwear and a jar over his head. His name reads, Let Me Solo Her. So you do, and so he does, single-handedly crushing Elden Ring's hardest boss with ease. He bows, and then he's gone. This experience has been repeated well over 1,000 times by the count of the person behind Let Me Solo Her, whose IGN's Rebecca Valentine spoke with back in April. I think I'm around 1,400 by now. Let Me Solo Her wrote in a YouTube comment posted in June. Let Me Solo Her is a legend in the Elden Ring community. His journey toward began mastering Millennia began during his initial run of Elden Ring when it took him 242 attempts to kill what many believe to be the game's hardest boss. Following his own struggle, he decided to help others. Chose Millennia to help others because I fell in love with her design. All her attacks are very graceful, and she is unforgiving as a boss. Her infamous waterfowl dance is considered to be the hardest to dodge and moveset from a FromSoft boss to date, so I decided to prove to others that it was not impossible. Now, I will go back to Elden Ring one day. I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but I stopped after the first area. I'm in the red area where you fight the big dogs and stuff, but I did like the first couple bosses, Margit and all that. I'm going to throw a picture of this boss up here because I have no idea who it is, but they look cool. I do love Elden Ring and FromSoft stuff, but I'm a good gamer. I have skill, but I'm better at shooters and stuff, and usually catch MVPs on games like those. But Elden Ring is pretty difficult for me, I'm not going to lie, although, I don't know, I'm not the worst. All right, I hate this one. This one's physically upsetting to me. Number 9, The Flash. Ezra Miller's legal problems keep growing as they delete their Instagram and seemingly disappear. It was a turbulent year for the Flash actor Ezra Miller. Back in June, a court was reportedly unable to locate Miller after they deleted their Instagram account, seemingly went off the grid. The court was looking to serve an order of protection against Miller after the parents of an 18-year-old accused the actor of psychologically manipulating, physically intimidating, and endangering the safety and welfare of their child. This latest report added to a years-long string of legal trouble for Miller, which has reportedly included a prior order of protection, an arrest for disorderly conduct in Hawaii, and an arrest for felony burglary in Vermont. Miller pleaded not guilty to the burglary charge, for which they face a maximum prison sentence of 26 years and over $2,000 in fines. In August, Miller apologized for the behavior, citing complex mental health issues. Despite the legal troubles, WB is seemingly moving forward with Miller as its Flash. As the company brought the actor back for reshoots in October, the Flash movie hits theaters on June 16th, 2023. The Flash is one of my favorite superheroes. When I watched Justice League in theaters as, I don't know, I was a teenager. I don't remember when that. It's actually a good, I want to say it's closer to 10 years than not since that movie came out, actually. It's, people lose track of time, but it's been more than 6, I want to say 6 years. I think I cried in Justice League because I got like a little, not like weeped or anything, but I got a little emotional because they raped these characters. They made this awful film, and it's kind of sullied, especially Ezra Miller and his presence. I'm not going to respect his pronouns just because this man is a menace. He's a pedophile, and also not only that, he's got like a fucking cult of some sort where he takes young teenagers to, which these are also on the parents. I know the parents are letting their kids go off with Ezra Miller. And he assaults people and rapes people, he's put a bad taste of the Flash in people's mouth, and one of my favorite characters is never going to see the light of day in the way he deserves, I think, in my lifetime, because, he's tied to this freak, this goddamn monster that Hollywood let run rampant, and he's still getting away with it, and he's still going to be in that movie, which I'll watch. MCU Phase 6 will begin with Fantastic Four and with Avengers, The Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. During San Diego Comic-Con, Disney revealed its initial plans for MCU Phase 6, which will conclude with Avengers Secret Wars on May 1st, 2026. That's cool. I'm excited for... I think we all thought Phase 4 was kind of lackluster or kind of boring, even though, in my opinion, some good films came out of it. Spider-Man No Way Home is amazing. It's awesome. That's exactly what fans want. That's what they should be doing. That's what we all like to see and we enjoy. They need to do more stuff like that. And then Multiverse of Madness is really panned by people. You guys are cowards. You're lying. It's great. It's a great movie. Sam Raimi did a great job. It's a good flick, man, and people keep saying it's not good, and you're just lying, or you have bad taste. If you're not lying, it's just your truth. Speak your truth and just be wrong, buddy. That's fine. Thor: Love and Thunder also wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't great, but it's not worse than 1 and 2. You know what I mean? It's better than 1 and 2. But a lot of the shows, I did not like the shows, except for another one that people seem to pan is What If, Marvel's What If. A lot of people talk badly about that on the internet, I see, especially on Twitter. But Marvel's What If was the best, in my opinion, Marvel property to come out in the last year. It was amazing, the best part of Phase 4, even though it's not canon or part of the MCU. But that was a great show, and I can't wait for a second season of that. But I'm excited for the next phase of stuff because we're going to finally get the Fantastic Four back, and an Avengers film, like, I feel like it's going to be hard for them to mess up an Avengers film because at least everyone's there. You got the star power. You're going to see someone you like, and Guardians 3 is coming. It's going to be we have better things on the horizon. Number 7, Rockstar finally says GTA 6 is in development and gameplay videos reportedly leaked. We're not going to read that one, skip over it. We all remember that gameplay dropping, that little clip that is supposedly GTA 6. But I'm not excited about GTA 6. I'll play it eventually. It will be enjoyable. But they're kind of like Nintendo, and kind of like how Skyrim keeps getting re-released, Rockstar keeps re-releasing GTA 5 and trying to get people's money from the multiplayer, which I don't even think is fun. And I just not like hyped for it. Not hyped for it like other people. Number 6, Bob Iger to return as Disney CEO in surprising shakeup, Bob Chapek departing. Chapek was only CEO since 2020, and Bob Iger was there from 05 to 020. And and a lot of people are like, I don't know why anyone cares about this, first of all, but a lot of people are like, oh, Bob Iger coming back is going to save Disney. They're going to go back to being good. Like, Disney's been having a hard time before he was left, and he's the one that set up the infrastructure for it to suck this bad, so I don't know why anyone's excited about that. This one here is great. Number 5, The Witcher renewed for Season 4 by Netflix. Liam Hemsworth to replace Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia. I have never watched The Witcher show. I have played pieces of, I think it was Witcher 2 I played in the past. I own all 3 Witcher games, and I will eventually play them all. I don't know a lot about it, but I am a big fan of Henry Cavill. I think he's a great guy. I love his respect for all of the art he's in. He cares about the source material, and I know for a fact that the people making Witcher do not care about The Witcher and the source material. And it's another franchise, not franchise, but piece of art, series, story that people love that's being raped for money. And I do not appreciate the road it's gone down. We stand with Cavill. Number 4, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock live at the Oscars for making Jada Pinkett Smith joke. And I was reading it down here. What did they say? Academy responded by banning Smith from the Oscars and all other Academy events for the next 10 years. Only 10 years. Rock addressed the moment during a stand-up routine shortly after, saying, "Yeah, that shit hurt, motherfucker, but I took that shit off. I shook that shit off and went to work the next day. I don't go to the hospital for a paper cut." All right. Excuse me. And then the response that Will Smith put out was like a hostage video. That's what Dave Chappelle here says. Dave Chappelle, during Hit European Tour with Dave Chappelle, Rock responded to Smith's apology video by saying, "Fuck your hostage video." That's what Chris Rock said. And yeah, dude, I did a reaction to that on the show back when it happened, and Will Smith is kind of like going down a Kanye road of where, like, he's got so many people in his life that are pulling him from different, I'm not even a Will Smith fan, but there's so many people in his life pulling him from different angles and trying to control what he does. And he's probably on drugs. He's probably an alcoholic. He's a celebrity. He's probably doing something. He's probably, drinking the blood of babies or something. And that wife of his is the goddamn Gestapo, giving him orders and shit. She's a very scary woman. But that's a bad precedent, what Will Smith did. You can't get on stage and attack a comedian for a joke, because guess what? Freedom of speech exists, and I hate hearing all this hate speech bullcrap. You can say anything you want. You can say anything you want. And yeah, there can be repercussions. You can hit someone, but then if you hit someone, you're going to, deal with the assault charge. James Gunn and Peter Safran to lead DC Films as co-CEOs. I'm cool with this. Everyone's really upset about James Gunn firing everyone and changing everything out. But I am okay with it because I trust James Gunn. He's a good filmmaker. He's a good director. I would like to see DC succeed, and with no competition, Marvel, that's just how capitalism works. No competition, Marvel has been able to get worse and worse because they never had to contend with DC. DC just never showed up to the party at all. Number 2, acquisition madness. Xbox buys Activision Blizzard. Sony buys Bungie. Embracer Group buys Middle-earth Enterprises. I don't care about this. I don't care about this at all. All this company type stuff, because what does it mean? Nothing. I mean, maybe we're gonna get games eventually. whatever. Xbox having Blizzard, okay. Sony buying Bungie, okay. I'm not going to play Destiny 3, you know. And, of course, a reporter would make #1 top story of the year, Elon Musk's complete takeover of Twitter, fire CEO and other top executives. This is a very simple story if you have your head screwed on right. A different person is now in charge of Twitter, okay? It doesn't matter. Nothing changes. A lot of white people got upset, though. A lot of people left Twitter, came back the next day, and guess what? Twitter's not even like a haven of free speech. There is no free speech on the internet, truly, because you need moderation on sites, or else, you know, it's for ads. So, no, if you leave upsetting things on a website like Twitter, Instagram, even YouTube, all the ads are going to leave. And that's what, remember the adpocalypse on YouTube here, and we lost Filthy Frank, and we lost all the good content, and everyone started cleaning up their act because no one's going to put their ads on videos or on a site where bad things are that people don't want to look at. It's scary, you know? Oh, I don't want to look at it. And words are so painful, and people are so scared of bad words. So, you know, I think it's just one of those culture war things or whatever. The right and left fighting each other, and I think everyone just needs to get over themselves. Who gives a single flipping fuck about that? Man, that video turned out a little bleak. Even I'm a little depressed after that one. I'm sorry about that, guys. But if you liked what you heard, consider liking and subscribing to hear more. If you didn't like what you heard, I really appreciate you sticking around and listening to a different opinion than your own. And if you hated what you heard, you can get bent.